We're visiting today with the Creative Writers Club, and since this is the final day of the semester for them, and they have worked so hard doing their work on the writing essays and poetry, that they decided to have a fun day and celebrate. So they're having a picnic. They have at least maybe several contests during the year. I'm not sure about that, but they have contests, and we're going to be able to hear the winners. So I will introduce now the Mr. Howard Roth, and he's the treasurer and spokesman for the group. Howard, would you like to introduce the officers?
Thank you, Claudine. I have sitting next to me the officers of the Leisure World Creative Writers Club, and I'd like to introduce them to you at this time. Sitting next to me is Ethel Carter, President. Hello. Standing behind is Charles Burnett, Vice President, and Valerie Drew is Secretary, and Marge Dodoro is the historian. We're in business with all these people, keeping us on the true tracks of our activities for the year. Thank you for coming and sharing this moment with us. 3 contests a year, and the Poetry 2000 contest was just completed recently. We have with us 3 winners of this contest, and now I want to introduce to you the first prize winner, Marge Dodoro, who will read her prize-winning poem, Ode to Rita.
Thanks, Howard. Ode to Rita. You didn't court the darkness. Your heart begged for light. You tried to make me listen. I didn't understand your fight. The rules in my life were written. My conscience knew black from white. You hinted at the deep pain. I didn't understand your fight. We sat together, companions conferring. We laughed together. Our hearts were tight. But deep depression drove your plans. I didn't understand your fight. The darkness captured your sister and mother. You whispered their stories filled with fright. I demurred, but you never would, never could. I didn't understand your fight. The phone rang. Only the machine was home. Your message was despair and the extent of its might. You didn't think you could go on. I didn't understand your fight. You mixed the frightful brew and took it down and lay on the grass, waiting for the night. Your pleas unanswered, your heart stilled. I didn't understand your fight. Tears fell as I walked beside your casket, a female pallbearer. They said it was my right. You were my best friend. Oh, forgive me, Rita. I didn't understand your fight. Thank you.
Thank you, Marge, for reading your poem, your prize-winning poem. Of the 2000 Poetry Contest is Ethel Carter, our humorist poet. Ethel, would you read your prize-winning second-place poem, please?
Take the microphone. A Stray at the Zoo. Lost, my great niece, my nephew's daughter. Through the crowded zoo I sought her. Then I spied her by the water. She was chuckling at an otter. By the hand I firmly caught her, spilled the popcorn that I'd bought her, felt my temper growing hotter. She forgot the rules we'd taught her. Started to walk at an angry pace, but happened to glance upon her face, a look forlorn to plead her case, and tears to stain her blouse of lace. My dear, I said, by the pinniped's bath, my anger is more fear than wrath. You mustn't stray on a different path until an older age you have. Thank you.
Thank you, Ethel, for reading your second-place poem. And now for the third-place prize winner, we have Virginia Krill, who's written a interesting poem that's quite different from the others. So, Virginia, would you read your poem, please?
Searching. Every morning. Nugget to look at babies. When Miss Emily was young, assistant librarians didn't have, not with brothers in college and mothers who cried. Miss Emily hid from the park until she retired, then began wandering there, wiping eyes as she examined their color, smoothing clothes, peering into carriages, until Joe eased his painful sailor's gait to her timid step and led her into an art shop. Now she sets up an easel near the waiting pool, and mothers buy pastels that look alive, paying enough so Miss Emily can give apples and dolls and kites and balls to sweet children with hair not quite golden as sand and eyes not quite deep dusk blue.
Thank you, Virginia, for reading your third place poem. To you, Virginia Forbeck, who is our prize-winning feature writer. Virginia has won a prize for her feature entitled What the Millennium Means to Me. Will you please read a portion of that article, which is really too long for this tape?
Thank you, Howard. What the millennium means to me. The first thought that came to my mind on January the 1st was gratitude. Thank God that for letting me live so long. What a thrill. A new year, a new century, a new millennium. We all wonder what mysteries the future holds. From ancient times, the prophets told us we would dream dreams and see visions. What quality most motivates me in this millennium? Spirit, a renewed inspiration. There's a lilt to my voice, a briskness in my walk, and an extra verve as I go about daily tasks and leisure activities. Now, omitting the bulk of the article, I go on to the conclusion. At times, I will meditate upon a few inspirational notes from famous authors. Where there is no vision, the people perish. Carlyle asserted it is the spiritual which always determines the material. Matthew cautioned the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. But nevertheless, as Paul said, I will go on to visions and revelations. In current English, yes, I do intend to go on with a renewed spirit and a certain pizzazz in living in our new era. Won't you?
Thank you, Virginia. That was very well written and very well read.
Hi, boys. Doing good. You have pancakes too? Double meat. But I wish I'd known about yeah, but it's messy.
Yeah.
Back down like it's mixed with it.
Yeah. Well, it's something.
Yeah. Did you ever fry little pieces of hamburger and throw your beans on them and fry some beans with it? Just to eat them?
Hmm? No, never used this stuff.
But are you limiting us to so many pages?
No, they can't have it all.
when I was buying my place, and they were doing the inspection, I found a few in the bath, you know, in the shower stalls, and I sprayed. They never came back. But I know there are a lot of people in Leisure World that have had big stalls.
This popcorn is delicious with you, dear. Yeah, very nutty, you know. Good. It's the caramel that does that.
I usually like the one with pecans.
Another alternative or option.
Delicious. We have to watch Channel 3 because all this is going on Channel 3. Yeah.
I knew it.
But I'm talking about with the chapter.
Yeah, oh, well, okay, then I understood. Okay. I think I'll leave the same time as you. Really? Give me a wink and a nod there, I'm there, you know that. Thank you for the invitation. I accept. Yeah. Go like this then, okay, my dear. Whatever you want to do. Come on, I'd like to meet them.
Everybody at the table?
Yeah, you never know. You might pass away, you know. You don't get a chance then.
Everybody look this way.
Okay. I wanted to tell you a little bit about the Leisure World Creative Writers Club. It was organized in 1963, 37 years ago, and we're still going strong. One thing we're doing, just as they did in the past, is to sponsor workshops. We sponsor a poetry workshop that meets once a month in Clubhouse 3, Room 9, and a fiction, non-fiction workshop that for people who write short stories and feature articles that meets in Clubhouse 3, Room 3 at 1:30 on the fourth Friday. And we have something new this year, a critique, which is run by Virginia Krill, who is helping people get their novels and short stories ready for commercial publication. Marie Patterson, the immediate vice president, is the leader of the fiction, nonfiction workshop, and I'm the leader of the poetry workshop. I have sitting beside me Bob Vague, who is our inspirational writer. He's written 2 books, and I want to have him tell you about them and then read a piece from one of these books. So would you tell us a little bit about your books, Bob?
Yeah, thank you. This particular one is called Thoughts of Love and Friendship, and it's 35 pages, and every page is has a lot of artwork on it. It has some beautiful pictures in it. The very first page says, love is all the songs of life, arranged with care and thoughtfulness, and played with all the harmonies of 2 hearts in tune. I have a lot of poetry and a lot of just thoughts.
Would you hold that up a little bit longer?
Oh, yeah. Well, let me find a picture here. The other one is pretty much on the humorous side, but it's fact, fun, and philosophy. and thoughts in life's truths. And I'd like to read a short one here, too. Wisdom is often attained when we realize we are not as wise as we would have others believe. Most strive for the house with the white picket fence, but fail to realize the fence has to be painted regularly.
All right, Bob. Thank you very much for presenting your works.
Thank you.
And now, other people in the Creative Writers Club have produced their own of their writings. But before I tell you about that, I want to introduce you to the two books that we have done as a club. This is the first book in an anthology of short stories, poems, and feature articles. There are 20 authors here, and we did this in 1996. And in 1999, we produced The Late Show, a 156-page book of poetry by 14 members of the Poetry Workshop. Then the people who aren't here to present their books, I'd like to present this book. Is written by Louis Wasserman, who is the brother of our cameraman today. He put together this story of his life, and it's a very interesting book, and it's a book of life experiences. People will find it very interesting. Another member, Jan Bayless, is a scholar and teacher of dreams. She has published this book, Sleep on It, and this book tells you how to interpret your own dreams. I have a hobby of producing the chapbooks. I make these books by myself. I have 15 of them of my own poetry. I brought 2 to show you. These 2 are collections of my earliest poetry, which I did in 1988. And that, Virginia Forbeck has a book which she wrote about teaching social studies in the high school, which is, she is addressing student teachers. That's about it. I think you know a little bit about the Leisure World Creative Writers Club. It's been going strong for 37 years, since 1963. I want to thank the people who did the readings and participated in the video for their cooperation. And again, thank Claudine for inviting us. And now I'll turn it back to you, Claudine.
Thank you, Howard. I thought it was wonderful. We enjoyed it very much. And thank all of you people that came.